West side. I'm triple gold. Yeah, picture me rolling with some Dayton's on the Benz. I got no love for you niggas, ain't no need to be friends. Included you in my vision, thought you wanted to win. Cut you out, I tore it down and built it over again. Shit ain't stopping, I'ma pop it till the day is the end. Made myself in the beginning, then I made me again. When it's over, ice my shoulder, I ain't making amends. Play that trick in CeeLo Green, let it blow in the wind. I'm smoking better than I ever did. Gas prices just dropped, guess who got it in? Come get a fill up while the price right. In the dark, I'm shining like a night light. Cutting snow cap, the weed whiter than ice spice. Like Mike, what I say when they ask how I'm trying to ball. Y'all thinking Calvin Cambridge, but I went bald and all. Long story short, I'm never folding, but niggas still wishing and hoping. Picture me rolling, shining when you see me outside. I be chain smoking side, got me out of my mind. She be calling, trying to kick it, but it's hard to find time. Wake up in the morning, thank God, and then grind. Yeah, I don't pop pills, can you picture me rolling? 4K still, can you picture me rolling? Undeveloped film, can you picture me rolling? Fuck a record deal, can you picture me? Picture me, you niggas tickle me. Ain't fucking with my baby pictures, is you kidding me? Triple gold, made Dayton daily, I'm back in that mode. Before the summer's over, match me, I smoke out the bowl, make it roll. In the beginning, shit was going slow. Pack drop, this growing wings, come get it before it's gone. Check the mail, break a box like I'm Donkey Kong. Did a reel, made a sale before I up the post. Phone ringing, where you at? I'm on the way to you. Out the trunk, I made a killing, I know Ray Caruth. You can't dunk if you need me to throw the alley-oop. Never seen a meal, but it's coming soon, I found the loop. Went to Muse, in the dark you see my jewelry gleam. Had to make some chicken soup, them niggas sick of me. I'm back together, niggas wanna see me broken. Of course I had to triple my golden. Picture me rolling, shining when you see me outside. I be chain smoking side, got me out of my mind. She be calling, trying to kick it, but it's hard to find time. Wake up in the morning, thank God, and then grind. Yeah, I don't pop pills, can you picture me rolling? 4K still, can you picture me rolling? Undeveloped film, can you picture me rolling? Fuck a record deal, can you picture me? West side, I'm so motherfucking triple gold. Niggas hoped it was over, but in my mind, we just getting started.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of Wreaths Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, Two Lives at Once. And with every Wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. Two Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, two lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to wreathsacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's wreathsacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel, a knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me? 'Cause I just wanna
Get ready! Woo! We are on tour and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on Spilt liquor.
Yeah, every bar's holy, straight divinity. Great stability with ancient wizardry. God ghost writing on the page after I prayed, he visits me. My frame is spiritually plateauing when angels lifted me.
Oh man. Welcome to Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor Podcast. I'm your host Lito with my co-host Sinista1, and we got some special guests tonight. We got my man Dale.
Yes, sir.
And my man JC. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk tonight a little bit. How y'all doing? How y'all brothers doing?
Not too bad, man. Doing pretty good.
If I know y'all see me smiling when I came on here, so Sinister is very happy tonight because the Celtics just won. They just beat the Knicks, and I was just explaining to him that tonight they won. It's gonna be very hard to beat the Knicks without Jason Tatum. So
it's 113-90 right now with 4 minutes left. So they doing it.
Well, you said Peyton Pritchard is 6 for what?
6. He just come in and he's already 6 3-pointers.
6 3-pointers for Peyton Pritchard.
Okay.
Pritch, please.
Pritch, please.
Pritch, please.
Pritch, please.
Jaylen Brown.
Pritch, please is hilarious. Pritch, please is hilarious. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I wanted to, ask everybody on here, you know what I mean? Like, how y'all doing? If you had to put your mental wellness on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say you are today? Anybody can go.
I'm a 7. I'm a 7 right now.
You're a 7. Okay, you're a 7 because the Celtics winning. Okay, I got you.
It's elevating.
No, it's not over yet. I could be an 8 or 9 by the end of this.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week.
It's going up.
Yeah. It's elevated 7 right now, fam.
What about you, Dale?
I think I'm about like about a solid 8. This week hasn't been treating me so bad. So, and especially down here, with you guys ready to rock. So this is always a good time.
Word. JC, what about you?
I'm gonna put myself at about an 8. I would say. The real world everyday grind is going all right. And this weekend we have our show in Dedham, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'd put myself about an 8. Absolutely.
That's dope. I'm probably like a 7.5, somewhere around there. I teeter between a 6 and 7 or 6.5, 7 usually. Because I feel like if you're at 8, that's a perfect day.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Today was a good day. Ice Cube.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like about a 7, 7.5. So
yeah. Not 9 or 10. You lying?
Oh yeah. Well, what's so crazy? Like some of our guys in our men's group, like they'll come on. They just had to, like our dude Ed. Shout out to Ed. He'd be like, "Bro, I had a great day. I'm 10, bro."
Dang.
Yeah, bro. He's always at like a 9 or 10, just because he's like, nothing bothers him, bro. Like nothing.
That's a good thing.
He's able to look at maybe mistakes he made that day and then be like, you know what, this ain't even stuff that we can control. I'm not gonna waste my time.
See, I aspire to unlock that level of
bro.
Of that boy.
He's like the he got the glow.
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah. I need some of that.
For real, bro. He got the glow. I'm gonna say he do these things every day on YouTube. It's called Shut the Fuck Up and Relax.
Okay.
And they're like 10 minutes long, and he does like every day he's talking like about like how we can look at things differently in life. I'm gonna send them to you, bro.
Okay, yeah, please.
That's my guy. He's a good dude,
all right,
man.
Cool. All right. Cool. Do that. Yeah.
So then once you see what he's saying, you be like, okay, I can see how he's always at like a 9, 10.
Yeah. Okay.
If he's ever below a 9, something that done happened that done threw him off.
Okay.
Yeah. But usually he stay up here. That's where he at.
Okay. I need some inspiration.
Yeah, for real, bro. And he the one to give it to you. For real, bro. We got some sad news, y'all. We got some sad news a couple days ago. Sabu passed away. And it's so crazy because Sabu was about to come on here.
Wow.
We were talking to him on IG. I had been having conversations with him.
Wow.
And we were setting up dates for him to come on here.
Wow.
How crazy is that, bro?
We were at the final process. He was actually putting out his stipend that he was looking to get to come on the show, and we were going to be discussing on working those figures out for the show. And then that was like Wednesday.
Wow.
That was like Wednesday of last week. So we was
man.
Because it was Tuesday. Because it was Tuesday night we did the show. Yeah, we did the show Tuesday, and you gave me the update and said, okay, you asked me, and we were like, okay, let's work on this and let's see what we can do. And then I woke up that morning, Sunday morning, and you had hit me up and said, yo. And
I was like, bro.
I was like, what the
I'm
fuck?
like, Sabu passed away. I'm like, what? First, I didn't believe it because you know how everybody's like, I'm like, let me go and do some research.
Yeah, that's the new thing now.
Yep.
Lo and behold, I seen Taz put a video out.
Yeah, that was the first thing I seen. And I'm like,
When I seen that, I knew it was real. I'm like, that was gonna be huge, bro. That interview would have been crazy. I would have had to pull y'all in.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would have had to pull y'all in, bro. We would have had to like really, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy about the whole thing too? Wrestlers dying. The weirdest thing is the timing has always been right before a Raw. You go back and look at everybody who's recently passed away, and it's always been right before a Raw, which is crazy. You had Ultimate Warrior. He was at WrestleMania, speaks at WrestleMania.
He spoke on Monday Night Raw.
And spoke on Raw.
Yeah.
And was dead the next day. It's just craziness how this world evolves sometimes and how this works out. It's just surreal moment. And the sad part is they can't even really pay their respects like they used to do on Raw because of the whole Chris Benoit situation. Ever since that situation happened, they've pulled that whole thing back.
Well, I don't think that would really apply to the. Sabu was in WWE in 2006 for like 6 months. I don't think they're going to do a show-stopping celebration on a Monday Night Raw.
I thought they were going to do a 10-bell salute for him, but they did a nice memoriam. They did a nice memoriam for him, though.
Yeah, and CM Punk went up there and pointed, you know.
Yeah, he just
So
yeah, Karrion Kross did something too. He had a dark match, and Karrion Kross also paid his respects.
Okay.
So it was recognized. It was felt. And they own that brand. They own that ECW brand now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But man, bro. That's just crazy how that happened, man.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what the cause of death was or anything like that.
I mean, it hasn't been announced yet, but he wrestled 3 weeks ago in his retirement match and was apparently pumped up with drugs. He couldn't, his feet were bleeding. His legs were locked up. He
took a concrete
got a concussion in the match and basically walked his way through it, completely messed up. So, I mean, he's a 60-year-old man that spent the best years of his life doing hardcore matches in ECW. So no matter what, 60 years old is like 90 years old in ECW years.
let's get right into this, because a lot of people don't know don't know who we have on this show with us tonight, and I'm gonna go right to JC. JC is a promoter of NCW, and a lot of people looked at this match, and there were a lot of people saying that when he arrived at the arena, people were saying he wasn't ready to go. He wasn't ready to do this match. As a promoter, JC, do you think that this could fall into the promoter's hands, and does the promoter have a responsibility to say, "Hey, Sabu, maybe we shouldn't do this. You don't look ready to go for this," And there's some instances where they said he was out. He was out, and they said the music of Sandman revived him, and he was still in a bad way. But I can get into this when I get into my story, but I want to talk about it from a promoter's perception.
Yeah, I mean, as a promoter, you're stuck between a rock and the hard place, right? Like you're promoting this event, WrestleMania weekend, 2,000 plus people. You're streaming it online, and you're calling it Sabu's retirement match. It's last match, win, lose, or draw. And when you find out during the show that your draw, your prize guy, your top guy is just incapable of doing anything, and you're trying to find out how do we make this happen, you got to make some hard choices. Keith, I don't know if you remember, probably going back about 15 years ago when Scott Hall did a show in Fall River, Massachusetts for Top Rope Promotions, and he also found himself into a very inebriated state and probably shouldn't have been let out there. And at the time, the Top Rope promoter got a lot of heat on him for allowing Scott to go out there. And, if the question is, would I have let him out here? Would I have let Sabu out there? It's a real tough thing to say. And you put a gun against my head and say, would you canceling it or what? I think if you were to cancel the match with Sabu, if you couldn't find a way to at least get him out there and just wave to the fans or say, hey, I wish I could do this, but I can't, then I don't know, because I'm not sure I could have in good conscience let him wrestle out there. And if there was a medical staff, which I don't believe there really was one for the GCW show, after the bump to the outside of the concussion, he definitely shouldn't have been allowed to continue. And when Sandman's music hit, they probably should have just done Sandman and Joey Janela and not even have Sabu get involved any further. But again, those are in the heat of the moment when things are happening live during a show. It's really tough to say. I wish I could be the altruistic promoter that'd be like, I would never allow that to happen. But I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances would be to get me to pump the brakes and say, no, we're not doing that. But I do think Brett Lauderdale, the promoter for GCW, he might get some negative feedback from this, because a couple of days after Sabu's death, maybe even like a day after, Yahoo Sports, they released an interview with Joey Janela talking about Sabu's retirement match and talked about putting him on this synthetic drug that he got from the weed shop, and basically forcing
about that. Wow.
Yeah. Now you got quotes from Janela talking about it, and it was really bad timing because this interview was done like 2 weeks ago, but they released it a day after Sabu's death.
Horrible timing.
Wow.
So everything hinges on this coroner report. Everything's going to hinge on the coroner's report then. Kind of.
Now, was this the match that I seen a clip from where he tried to do the triple threat moonsault, but he fell into the because it was the ring was a barbed wire, right?
It was barbed wire, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And he fell over the top of that.
And that's what caused the
bricks.
concussion. Yeah, that was the concussion.
Okay.
I would also say that, again, I say, he was 60 years old, but really 90 in ECW years, because his body was put through hell. And, any of those guys that worked in the 90s, you saw wrestlers like Balls Mahoney, who passed away from not only just the wear and tear, but drugs and other things like that. So who's to say, was that match a contributing factor in Sabu's death? Maybe, but also it could have just been 30 years of killing yourself, and it finally caught up to you.
And that's where I want to jump in here real quick, because I got a personal story that I can talk about Sabu. Many years ago, ECW, when it was just really starting out, it used to come here to Boston. It was always at the Waltham Union Hall. And we would go to these shows every year. We got to know Paul Heyman. We got to know a lot of people. And one night, Sabu was taking on, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Stevie Richards at the time. But what happened was that he was supposed to come off the ropes, the side ropes, and backflip onto Stevie Richards, who was going to be laying across a steel chair. And what happened was that Stevie Richards botched placing the chair, and the chair ended upside down with the legs up. Sabu comes off the ropes, backflips, and comes down on his chin on the leg of the chair. The chin goes through his chin, busts his mouth wide open. Paul Heyman comes over. Joe Gertner goes out of character. If you guys remember who Joe Gertner is, he comes out of character. They rush over. Sabu pushes him off, and the EMTs are coming over, and he says nope. He says he's fucking finishing the match. He tells Paul, I'm fucking finishing this match. And the dude wrestled another 18 minutes against Stevie Richards with a busted jaw and a bloody, bleeding bottom hole in his lip. And when the match was over, he went to the EMTs. So that tells you the type of guy I knew from then on. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a different breed of wrestler. It was just craziness.
Keith, were you there in Revere for the mass transit incident?
That was the New Jack incident.
New Jack and mass transit, the young 16-year-old cut open, and that was a Dark Side of the Ring episode as well.
Yes, it was. And last Tuesday night was also Dark Side of the Ring did a special Sabu episode, which I'm gonna have to check out. But yeah, that incident that happened in Revere, I hate to say it, but the kid kind of asked for it. I went to a lot of early ECW matches, and ECW would tell fans, you want to get in this ring? They used to call people out, and I would say, bro,
don't do it.
I'm keeping my ass in the, especially with New Jack. New Jack tells you to come in the ring, bro. That's a bad move, bro. Don't go in the ring when New Jack tells you to come in, bro.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. Mm-mm.
So Eric Koulos, mass transit, the kid that got himself cut open, he was 16 years old, but he was wrestling down here in Rhode Island. He had done about 8 pro matches before that. I saw him wrestle at a New England Wrestling Alliance, an NEWA show prior to that incident. And then one of the midget wrestlers, Tiny the Terrible, brought him down and gave him a ride to the show. And by a couple different circumstances, you know a guy, you got a friend, whatever, he got on the show, and that kind of led to this incident. But when I worked,
but he didn't look 16. Matt Transit didn't look 16 at all. That kid looked like he was 21. he was like
350 pounds. Yeah, he is.
Now, JC, are you familiar with Twisted Tate?
I am not. No.
Okay.
What's that? What's that?
He was in he wrestled in the Indies for a while. He said he knew Sabu pretty well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he didn't have good things to say for sure.
I have worked with a couple of the old ECW guys. And overall, I think just when you're a wrestler coming from that era, from that age, you got to be a little tougher. You got to be able to come at them straight and legit. If you try to bullshit them, or if you try to, play around, or I'm a really big fan, you have to just come to them straight, show that respect.
Yeah.
And they'll probably respect you right back and, do business.
We talked about this in the chat when he sent that quote to me. I said to Kevin, that era, you had to be an asshole in the sport, because if you was a nice guy back in the 90s, you got stepped over. You didn't get no respect. You couldn't be a nice guy. You had to kind of be an asshole or a person who fought for what they wanted, because the 90s was ruthless. You had WCW still out there. ECW was coming up through the ranks. Backyard Wrestling was making a big hit in the 90s too.
You say you don't know who Ruckus is, do you?
I don't know who Ruckus is, unless he was under a different name.
Nah, that was his name. He wrestled in 3PW and ACW.
Here's the problem. I knew 3 Ruckuses that wrestled. So if you come out of the time frame of wrestling, everybody was the Ruckus, the Destroyer, the Executioner. You know,
This guy was a bigger guy, but he was doing flips, like off the top. I mean, he was doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, was he
Sabu.
XPW? Was he for Extreme Pro Wrestling? Did he wrestle for them too?
I think he was. Yeah. He did.
Yeah, Sabu is responsible for probably getting a lot of people into backyard wrestling and things of that sort. Sabu was when I think of ECW for me, Sabu's the first to come to mind. Sabu and then Taz. You know, they had some legendary beefs. So for me,
Taz was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but that was it for me. If you mention ECW,
It's Taz, but I go Shane Douglas. I go franchise. Yeah, franchise and Raven were my two.
I was definitely a Raven guy.
Yeah.
I was doing tape, so that like 95, 96. So I was 12 and 13 years old, but I had discovered ECW because it was on the Spanish station in Worcester Fridays at 1:00 in the morning, and I got into tape trading. So I would send tapes out, I'd get tapes back, and that's where I saw some of the first Sabu matches.
Yeah.
And like they spent, because Sabu and Paulie had a falling out, so they didn't get to do Taz and Sabu for like a year. So when Sabu came back, like they started building this Taz Sabu match, and I was a Raven guy, so I was into Raven and Dreamer and them feuding with each other. Beulah McGillicuddy, the beautiful women of ECW, but like the aura between Sabu and Taz, that no matter when by the time they wrestled at Barely Legal 97, that match was okay. That was like a blood feud, and that should have been them just killing each other, but they just kind of wrestled the match. But everything, every promo, every like, run in, like the music videos that Paulie used to throw out were some of the coolest. Like, you know, if you watch WWF and WCW, it's like, that's all right, that's kind of corny. But ECW was so cutting edge with the rap music, the rock music. They were just so cool for like a 14-year-old kid to be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
This is it, yeah.
First time I ever seen Sandman, and that entrance music comes on, and then he's up in the crowd somewhere with beer in his hands and and then he just goes bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
Makes himself bleed.
Yeah.
And he drinks the beer. Like, I'm like, this dude is crazy. When I first seen that, I'm a kid. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, I've done the whole, you know, they always say don't try this at home, and do not try this at home, kids. Don't. But I've injured myself quite a few times emulating stuff I've seen from ECW. The Pepsi can. I'm trying to pop a beer can with a Pepsi can. I cut my finger. I'm trying to do, while we're talking about Sabu, I tried to do an Arabian face buster on a teddy bear, but just completely just ass the chair to the floor.
Wow. Hey guys,
because the teddy bear is super thin.
We've got a lot of people in the chat tonight tuned in. Holy Christ! I just looked up. Because we've got a good. Amari Cummings is in the chat. What's going on, Amari Cummings?
That's my man Tari. Shout out to Tari.
Yeah. Daryl Martin is in the chat. He says Dream is another one to think about.
My man DJ. What's up, DJ?
Daryl Martin says Sabu versus Ray at ECW One Night Stand for the heavyweight title was one of his best matches too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you know what's a really under-heralded Sabu WWE ECW match was him versus John Cena. It was like on a Monday Night Raw or something like that. Yeah. And Sabu actually talked about it. He goes, you know, John was really professional. Like, I forgot spots and John called the spots for me. He never ate me. Like, it was just like, that's a weird contrast in styles, but man, Cena and Sabu had a pretty...
Was that the match where Sabu came off the chair to the top rope and balanced on the top rope, and then he backflipped on Cena? That was...
Yeah. Moonsault. Yeah.
Yeah, you think about it, like Sabu was, he made the rounds, man. The TNA matches with like Abyss and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like he was out there, man.
He was.
The part of the
100%.
Sabu mystique was that he never lasted in one place too long. He
Yeah.
did like 3 months in WCW before coming back to ECW.
Yep.
He did that when ECW invaded Monday Night Raw back in like '97. You had Sabu jump off the giant Raw sign onto on the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like his mystique was so amazing that you're just like, this guy is the coolest. Like the pants, everything about him was fantastic.
Everything about Sabu, and you knew he was a badass because just look at the scars that was left on his body.
Amari Cummins said he saw that with his own 2 eyes, so he must have been there. Amari Cummins is in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so all these people are watching on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in on YouTube, peeps.
Those my guys. Shout out to my man Tari. Shout out to DJ Martin. Yeah, Taz was my guy, but the first time I seen Sabu was him versus Taz, and I think it was which one was that, bro? It might have been it was a triple threat with RVD, Taz, and Sabu, and that was one of the best matches I ever. Sometimes I still watch, because Peacock. If you got Peacock, you can go back and watch some of those matches. A lot of those matches.
It's tough watching any of the old stuff on the network or anything like that because the best part of ECW
so bad.
Yes,
the music's so bad, dude. so bad.
It's the music was half the fun, man. Absolutely.
So if you lived in Philadelphia, you could have went.
Everybody's music without their permission back then too.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
He didn't care.
You know how hard it is. If I put a video on Facebook today and I use any kind of copyrighted music, that stuff gets flagged immediately.
Yep. No sound.
So here's
sound.
the thing. I hear a lot of people complain about it. Here's the funny thing, and I'm a DJ, so a lot of my music doesn't get pulled down because I'm a professional DJ. So when I do music, I use that as my reason. But a lot of people don't know why they're flagging and stopping copyrighted videos in music. A lot of people don't know why that is. Do you guys know the real reason of why they stopped that? Why they killed that?
Why?
No.
It has nothing to do with people putting up music. So back in the day, remember when music was streaming online? Remember when you would go to a concert and the big thing at a concert was everybody would say, "Oh, I'm about to do a song," like a Beyonce would say, "Pull out your phones. I'm about to do this song." And she would do like Single Ladies. The reason why they shut this shit down is because they found out that recording artists were boosting their streams during live shows, because back in the day when they would do a song like Single Ladies and tell everybody to put their phones out and they would stream, if you got 10,000 people in that stadium with their phones out and they're streaming this song live, guess who's getting a cut of that money of the song streaming? This is the reason why they put this in place, to block people from streaming music. So it wasn't to screw us over as consumers, it was to screw the artist over. And the only reason why I know this is because I manage a music artist. For instance, a lot of people don't realize this in the music industry. Independent artists are now getting their money. They're finding their money. Back in the day, independent artists didn't get their money because there was no way to really track it. So what would happen is that your music, if you didn't collect on your music, it went into this thing called a black box royalty. Black box royalties sit in this place for 3 years. After 3 years, if an independent artist doesn't collect it, the top 20 artists in the country get that cut of your money. So Beyonce, the Taylor Swifts, and all them, they get that cut of your money. They get a check cut at the end of the year off those black box royalties of independent. The music business is so shady, bro.
Word.
It is shady as hell.
That's crazy. Real quick, man. Dale, talk about your podcast and when y'all come on and how people can check you out too.
Oh yeah, so I am one half of the Buried in Booking podcast. Shout out to my tag team partner Devin, who is a little under the weather, so he wasn't able to make it on tonight with us. But yeah, we're weekly podcast, do pro wrestling. Usually talk about Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, any blaring news, and we started a new segment on the show maybe about a month ago, where we do AEW in a nutshell, because it's like a couple things happen on AEW, but it's never really anything to talk a whole bit about. So we usually close the show with Devin does like a rapid read of like anything, and we just like go back and forth on it. It's hilarious. But but yeah, so we go live on Twitch usually Sundays around maybe anywhere between like 12:30, 1:30, and we upload to YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're on there.
Yep. Word. And JC, I know you got some big news coming up.
Oh yeah, we got our show Friday night in Dedham, Mass, for our anniversary show, our 28-year reunion event. I know when I was back with you guys in March, we talked a little bit about it. Kicking off our 28th year, going from the backyard to today. Been doing this since I was 14 years old. So looking forward to Friday night. Hopefully we'll pack the house in there to the VFW and have ourselves a good time.
Sounds like fun, man.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I got to show.
You say you gonna go, Sinister? You gonna show up?
Look, my Friday night, I'm off. I might have to pull up because I did wrestle. When I wrestled. I wrestled in NCW twice. And one of the things I was told was that for a guy who's never wrestled before, I had one of the loudest pops in a match when I came out.
You can't talk about that and not put that up. You can't talk about it.
We'll put that up for next week. I came out to Lil Wayne. She will. And the place went crazy. I timed
out to
right
She Will.
Yo,
why not?
I put it out there, bro. I put it out there.
She
bro.
will what? In the wrestling ring. What's she gonna do in the wrestling ring?
It was a good time. It was a good time. JC did a good fucking job, because I'll tell you right now, I never wrestled before in my life. JC and the NCW guys at that time, and to be honest, one of the guys who I worked with, Anthony Green, who's been on NXT and everything. Anthony Green was green. He was just a young kid. He was doing refereeing. And this is a kid who I stunned in the middle of the ring, and he sold that shit like I was stone cold, bro. And it was a good
Dale,
time.
Check this out too. He had a leather jacket on when he's stunning people. He's stunning people with a leather jacket on, and that count was fast, bro.
It was a fast count?
It was a fast count, bro.
The fix was in.
I had to sell the count because I had to sell the count quick because the champ was getting screwed over. There was bullshit
that
calls.
Count was like that count
JC was trying to screw him over,
That was a fast count. That looked like a lot of fun though.
Stunning to the leather jacket.
She will, right?
Stunning to the leather jacket.
Well, to be honest, what's the best part? The fun part was the person who I had to wrestle. We had to sell this match because it was a fundraiser for the Pop Warner football organization. So we came up with this idea that we were going to shoot a promo at one of our rival games against Cape Cod. So everybody comes to town when Cape Cod plays Brockton. Like, everybody's there. And we didn't tell nobody. That we were going to shoot this promo. So the person I'm wrestling, he comes down to the field with a police officer to give me a restraining order so I don't put my hands on him until the match. So then we kind of get into this. So people are all like, and he comes, and he sold it well, because he comes through and he's like, oh, I'm here in Brockton where people can't read and y'all don't know. And then he's like, I'm here to root for Cape Cod today. Yeah, the video, all of it is all up, the promos and everything. The match itself, it was a street match, and JC said, hey, let me put this in my hands. This is what's going to happen. You're going to do this street match. Just follow our lead. Listen to what everybody tells you, and you'll do. And it is. I think for my first time, I think I enjoyed it, and yeah, it was a good time. He got me in there a couple of times. I've done it twice, so.
That's dope.
I need to see this.
Yeah, you're going to have to post that, bro, because it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
I'll post it on the site. I'll post it on our Facebook page.
That's awesome.
Let's talk Backlash, fellas. Fatal 4-way. United States Championship match. Jacob Fatu won that. Did anybody think that he was not gonna win?
Absolutely not.
Jacob Fatu is on fire.
Yeah.
Now, we got to talk about something that happened during that match. He looks like he's about to lose, right? For a second, he's about to go through the table. Solo pulls him off. Then all of a sudden, what's his name? Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb. Yes, sir. Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb shows up in the WWE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Jeff Cobb and Jacob have had some matches that were like, they were kind of like rivalries. So what I'm hearing is Jeff Cobb is going to be Solo's new muscle.
Yeah. So yeah. We just talked about this on Sunday too. I was like, well, it seems like, he's going to be the third man right now, but clearly Jacob isn't happy about it. So
yeah, Jacob
once the time comes where
all.
it's like, all right, Jacob's like, once the whole Jacob Solo thing happens, insert Jeff Cobb to be that in between, to be that muscle.
Don't watch WWE too much these days, so pardon me for my ignorance. But how the hell are they still doing bloodline storylines at this point? Like
I said this. I said just when you think that you pulled out, they pull you right back in. It's crazy.
Even though they're not calling it the bloodline anymore, it's just some guys that kind of look similar from a similar background, like doing
Jeff
things.
Jeff Cobb comes from an island 1,000 miles away from.
He has nothing to do with
I'm going to join the bloodline next. I'm from Rhode Island. What does that even mean?
Then someone from Staten Island can join.
Now all it is Solo is just collecting guys from down that way.
Yeah, he's Filipino. Jeff Cobb's Filipino, so
I don't know. Like Jeff Cobb's a great wrestler. He's been doing stuff, all over the world for many years. Like he's also a little bit older, so get that bag.
Yeah,
if WWE's offering you a good contract, take it, do your stuff. But yeah, I just the Solo. I don't know. How are we still doing bloodline stuff?
I have a hot take on this. Okay. My hot take is this is going to insert. So if y'all paid attention to how Solo or how Jacob was looking at Solo when he was walking after he won, he was walking past them. He was looking at them with like, what are you doing? Like, so this is, that we have history. Like, you gonna do this? So this is what's going to, because I follow Mama Zilla. Shout out to Mama Zilla on TikTok. I actually was talking to her the other day. This is going to open up Jacob to kind of like have his own little faction, and this is how we're gonna get Zilla in the WWE.
I mean, I think that's probably likely. Although since Jacob Fatu's already getting babyface pops, he's already just a babyface. I don't think he really needs backup. That guy goes out there and he beats people on his own. So I think you're better off having him just be the real Solo, go solo, and let him just like get that heat.
But the bloodline can jump him. I think that's when
adding more and more people to this thing again. It's like watching NWO Hollywood. Like, oh, is it going to be Vincent or Horace Hogan? Who's going to run the NWO Hollywood? Like, it's 2025, guys. Come on, like
Solo and some dudes.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You're sort of Samoan. You win.
Solo right now he has Jeff Cobb. He still has
Tonga Loa.
Yeah, Tonga. And
we don't talk about Tonga Loa.
Yeah, Tonga Loa is listen, I seen Tonga. Okay, we're not gonna talk. We can talk 20 minutes about Tonga Loa. How trash Tonga Loa is. Tonga Loa is one of the worst. Okay, all right. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. What y'all think of that match?
I told you. What I tell people, I said the real Dominic Mysterio is coming out. I said they've been holding this guy back, and we said it. We called it. We said that something's coming with the Luchas. They've made this announcement. The Luchas are here. They've got AAA. They're really going to be promoting this whole thing. Rey Mysterio is going to be he's going to take this whole thing over, and Rey Mysterio is going to be that. Dominic Mysterio is going to be that guy, and we saw this. He come out over the ropes into a DDT, and everybody was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "This has been here." Yeah. They've been holding this back. They've been holding this back for a minute because he's been such a great heel.
Yeah,
he's been such a great heel. He didn't need to do any of this.
Yep, perfect chicken shit heel. Yep. And it's like, that's what we needed. But like now with the raising popularity of him, he's like, you see more and more stuff out of him. Yeah, that DDT was awesome. And then the match,
everybody hated him.
Match.
Remember that?
Yeah,
he couldn't even get a word out. Like when they try to talk, he couldn't get a word out. And then all of a sudden, at WrestleMania, they start cheering for him, bro. Like it was just crazy. Like
WrestleMania is an event that has a lot of. You don't have casual fans go to WrestleMania.
Right.
You have fans that are paying. I knew a guy that went to Mania to sit in a skybox, and I think he just basically tolerates wrestling and spent about $3,800 to go for the 2 days. Like you're going to WrestleMania, like you know the product, you know these guys, you know the talent, and obviously a guy like Dom, who's not only he's a legacy, he's a guy that's been doing this. He's the family. He's got the connections to. He throws out wearing Art Barr's gear, Eddie Guerrero, his father, his grandfather. Like this is a guy that is bathed in history. So I think he gets his flowers. He gets that big WrestleMania moment. He's great. I didn't watch. I only watched highlights from Backlash. But if from a promoter perspective, here's my overall problem with Backlash and Triple H's philosophy on booking. Jacob Fatu and Dom Mysterio are basically running the same storyline. They're both two guys that were supposed to be heels. They're getting those babyface reactions. They're in these groups, Judgment Day for Dom, Bloodline Hollywood for for Fatu. But then they're kind of, Dominic's a couple steps behind in his babyface journey. He's still in Judgment Day. He's getting there. But it's all going to lead to the same place. Dom Mysterio is going to end up saving his father at some point, getting a huge reaction, and he's a made guy for life.
Yeah.
But you have those two matches at Backlash. Becky Lynch got into some stuff during her match, but at least her match was probably the best match on the card.
Yeah, Lyra and Becky. Yeah.
But if you're gonna do all that Memphis level Gaga BS bullshit in the main event with Cena and Orton, I probably wouldn't have done all that stuff in the U.S. title match or the Intercontinental title match. Interference in every single match.
That's
it's
fair.
like, Judgment Day's out there. Turn. No, just kidding. El Americano's out there. Like, just so much run-ins, interference. If you're going to do that main event, don't do all that stuff on the undercard. Wait for it. Save that for the main event. But that's Triple H. That's what he does. Like, he loves that. He loves that.
Yeah, speaking about the main event, too, the main event, it was a great main event, but it was just a lot of, I knew they were going to kind of pander to Randy, since he was in St. Louis.
Play the hits, man. Play the hits.
These are also guys, the last time they wrestled was 8 years ago? Yeah. Like, John Cena is 47 years old, and I watched WrestleMania, and I saw how fast he was going at WrestleMania. This is a man that his bump card he's only got a couple more holes to punch through. He cannot do what he did 20 years ago, let alone 8 years ago. So they were playing to the last row in the bleachers. They were doing big, they were going wide, and it works because Randy Orton and John Cena are two professionals that are great at what they do. They're just doing it a little bit slower than they used to be able to.
Facts. 10:20. Let's hit Raw. Raw review. What y'all think of Monday Night Raw? I know you probably didn't see it, JC. Did you see any highlights?
The only thing that I caught was Becky Lynch. I don't think people want to boo her. I think she's everybody likes Becky, so it's kind of like, why are you being a bad guy again?
Yeah.
But like, she cut a promo that was very good, and it sets her up. Like, she put the belt on. She should be world champion.
That's what I said. Put the belt on her.
Like, she's the best at what they do. And I guess Big E recently said something in interviews saying that like fans should be giving women's wrestlers a little more grace when it comes to age. Yeah. And there's no problem that John Cena is 47 years old, but God forbid Becky Lynch might be on the tail end of her 30s, about to turn 40. Like, oh, she's gonna get out. She's too old for this.
I don't like the way they're doing Bailey right now either. I'm not feeling.
Oh
that.
Yeah. Bailey catching a lot of strays, which is pretty bad. Man.
The same way you feel about Trish Stratus,
That's fair.
Bailey,
I get it.
I don't have to say,
I get it. I understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
That BBL?
Nah, it ain't. That's real. That ain't no.
Red beans and rice didn't miss her.
No.
Red beans and rice.
Oh, here's another one though. What, she's been around, like what, the 4 horsewomen, right? So Charlotte,
she's been around for a long time,
Becky.
but she's a great wrestler.
Yeah,
and I just feel like they do her dirty, man. I don't know.
Getting pulled from WrestleMania was some bullshit.
That was wild. That was really wild.
And she spoke on a podcast about that too.
Chris Van Valet, right?
Chris Van, yeah.
She was even saying in her interview, "Oh, when this comes out, it'll be after WrestleMania, so you'll understand." But like, she was a good soldier that entire weekend, knowing she was not going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Again, give her moment, man. Like, she had a banger of a match the previous WrestleMania against Io Sky. Like, let her cook. Like, I don't like.
And they did that whole gauntlet thing. Like, they ran the table in that gauntlet match to win to win the right for the match. So she did all that work and
But yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming they're going to build the Bailey versus Becky. I'm sure that's coming down the pipeline. And I would say, put the belt on Becky and let Bailey beat fucking Becky for the belt and have her get like a big crown. Do it at SummerSlam. Have a big, beautiful moment for Bailey. Like,
and let me say this too. I also feel a way about. They got Charlotte like she's just the one that's gonna put everybody over right now, and I give her put the belt on her one more time. Put the belt on her one more time.
I think Charlotte would benefit greatly from a trip to another company.
Really?
I think WWE fans in general are not going to give her what she maybe deserves or what she is. I mean, again, she's another one of those 4 horsewomen that have really put themselves out there and they ran the women's division. But like, look at what Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné has been able to do wrestling in Japan, wrestling in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if Charlotte took a couple years away from the WWE machine and did something somewhere else, her stock is going to rise even bigger.
Came back. Yeah.
Comes back. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what you used to do in the territories.
Had a hell of a year. She had an injury and got a divorce in the same year. Like,
they liked her for a second when she came back until she won the Rumble, and then everybody was like, "Oh."
When she went to Rumble and won, everybody was mad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, shit.
It's Queen.
It's the Queen.
What do you expect?
What is it? 15-time? What is she? 16-time world champion?
It's like, it's Charlotte. What do you expect?
It's the Queen. What are we talking about? Like,
and she's still amazing at doing it.
And amazing, has not lost a step at all. She made what's her name look good in that match.
Tiffany, yeah.
She made Tiffany look very well. Tiffany looked like she had chipped her tooth or something at the end of that match. I don't know how true that was, but it looked like it.
Yeah, it was her makeup. It ended up being her makeup. She was on IG right afterwards. She said, "Hey, don't worry about my tooth." I guess her makeup rubbed off on her tooth.
But
they still spun it in
Tiffany
their story
very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What y'all think they doing with Jey Uso? Y'all like what
they're not giving him the main event for a guy that they call main event Jey Uso.
This is true.
He's got his match coming up at the main event
Saturday
shows,
night main
because we
event.
said, Saturday main event.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do that title 4 times a year at this main event. That's why they gave him that title. He's gonna be just like Hogan and these guys were when they had that main event title, and that's his to lose. To be honest, my prediction I would love to see, I'd love to see Street Profits break up, and I'd like to see him lose that belt eventually to Montez Ford, because Montez Ford is insane. He needs to be a singles.
He doesn't want to be a singles.
Yeah, now, yeah.
He doesn't want to anymore.
No,
because he did for a while.
I think he's in it for the long haul with Street Profits.
Yeah. He kind of kept it like it was crazy too. Like he was kind of saying something similar to the effect of, you know, he goes solo and we all know what's gonna happen to Doc. So
he's trying to say.
He already it's like, I know, you know, everybody knows. We've seen this story before. We've seen the Jannetty effect.
Yeah.
So he's definitely dug in with the Profits. And you know what, like that part of it, I was like, all right, you know, I love the guy, but I loved him even more after that.
So he's willing to, because Doc is just gonna get released.
Everybody knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't think that Logan Paul is gonna beat Jey Uso at this upcoming show. But within the next year, he will be a heavyweight champion, whether you like it or not. It's going to happen. In the TKO WWE, it is 1,000% going to happen.
I don't want to see that.
It's going to happen.
I don't want to see
Make
Logan
peace
Paul.
with it now. Make peace with it now.
Logan Paul can be the United States champion again, Intercontinental champion. I don't want to see him hold.
I'm going to be covering a lot more AEW on the podcast once that happens.
Nah, facts. I want because he's an amazing athlete. I don't want to take that away from him.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But and he's from Ohio. He's from here.
We got some more people in the chat right now. Patty Gone said Kevin's gonna come out to the Muhammad Hassan theme.
My! Oh wow!
Somebody just gonna tell on you. Somebody's telling on Kevin. Somebody said, here he goes talking about Bailey.
Muhammad Hassan.
Tari Cummins.
That's
said,
Muhammad.
Here he. Oh, okay. He said talking about Bailey. Tari said Charlotte needs to go home with me. Logan Paul is not it.
Reed.
Oh, they hating. They hating in the chat.
Logan Paul is not. Listen, Logan Paul, like I say, he's an amazing athlete. I just can't see him holding the World Heavyweight belt or the Undisputed belt.
You already said he was a good wrestler, but it means nothing about the wrestling anyway. He's a multimedia superstar. He's got his damn Prime bottles at ringside. It is a marketing wet dream for the TKO management group. And I would say within one calendar year, I'll come back on this show 1 year from now, May 14th, and he will have one of those belts. I promise you.
I agree. It's coming. He's vested. He's vested.
Yeah. That's crazy. Real quick, Sinister, give us your thoughts on Raw.
Yeah, it was another good solid Raw. The main event was definitely good. They really. I'm sure Penta and his brother are soon to be put together, and I'm wondering who this other guy is, and I think it's R-Truth. I think they're gonna pull the swerve. I think R-Truth is playing this dumb game for everybody, and he's gonna be that guy. And here's what the funny thing is: if you put all 4 of these guys together, all 4 of these guys had rap music in WWE. Rock, Cena, R-Truth have all put rap music out. So you could call them the Wrap It Up crew.
Hey, speaking of Rock, real quick, is the Final Boss shit done?
So here's my hot take on this. Here's my hot take. Ruthless Aggression, which is the worst kept secret here in Boston, because everybody's talking about it now. We knew about it. I already mentioned it on this show months ago because they already was promoting it. Ruthless Aggression takes place in December here in Boston. It's John Cena's final match. I think, and I this is my hot take, the way that they're going, it's all been rematches. All rematches of his best matches right now as he heads out. What if Ruthless Aggression closes out his career, Rock against Cena in Boston for his final match?
I think it's him and Punk.
Rock is not wrestling.
I
Rock wouldn't go wrestle Cody Rhodes. He's not going to wrestle John Cena.
I think it's him and Punk.
I think that's SummerSlam.
The Rock is not coming back until one of his movies bomb at the box office. He's not coming back.
Well, he's doing
for
football.
any other reason.
He's doing football right now, and that's why he can't come back. So he's got the football.
I thought he was playing Mark Kerr in that movie.
He played Mark Kerr.
And I think he's getting Academy Award nods for that.
Oh, really?
Well, which means he'll definitely not be wrestling any matches.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even out yet. We haven't even seen that.
I just saw the trailer. I got the trailer. I should have the trailer before our show. I should be playing that trailer. I think he's going to get nods. I think he's going to get nods for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
10:31. Well, good show tonight, y'all. Great show. Thank y'all for coming on. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, JC, for coming
Absolutely.
on.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, great time tonight, man. Real quick, again, let everybody know how to reach you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Someone in the chat said Tonga Loa is like Giannis's brother. He only got a roster spot because of his brother.
Yeah, DJ.
Yeah.
DJ said that.
Facts.
That's the truth.
Pretty much.
And Haku's their father, so that's the only reason why he's even relevant.
Somebody else, Daryl Martin, says he thinks they're bringing Bronson back to join Jeff Cobb and feed families as a tag team.
Huh.
Damn. I wouldn't hate that.
That's a killer tag team right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that at all.
Who would mess with them?
Yeah, damn. well,
Bronson,
damn.
That's a key sweat
Jeff
nobody
Cobb?
right there. Nobody. That's a key sweat nobody. We need to put that in the queue when you think that's not a good match. Nobody.
Bronson and Jeff Cobb would be crazy. Goodness gracious.
Wow. I know what I'm about to do on 2K. I'm gonna find me a Jeff.
Find you a Jeff Cobb.
Find me a Jeff Cobb.
You got 5 or you got the
Oh, I have it on PS5.
Okay. Well, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Cause Sinister got he got an Xbox, but we can crossplay. So we need to do this.
I'm doing GM mode right now. I just started. doing GM
I am
mode
also doing GM mode.
I started GM
like
mode
2
and then I got pissed
days
off
ago.
and started Universe.
We're gonna have to link up.
Right, for sure. Man, thank y'all again. JC, tell them again about this weekend.
Yeah, we got NCW's 28-year reunion this Friday night, May 16th, Dedham, Massachusetts. You can check out NCW at thencw.com. We're NCW Wrestling on Facebook. We're all over the place on all the different social medias. Come check us out. We also have our streaming service, ncwunlimited.com. We put our events on there. We have some of our old events on there. So, yeah, love for you to check it out and help us support in any way we can with independent wrestling.
Yes, sir. We love independent wrestling over here.
I'll have
That's
to
what
grab
we do.
some shirts. I'll have to grab some shirts for us guys.
Yeah.
Going
got
there
to.
on Friday.
Yeah, let me know because I send you the bread. Get that for me.
Absolutely.
For sure. And then Dale, let them know about Bury the Booking, bro.
Yes, Bury the Booking podcast, Spotify, iHeart, all that stuff. Anywhere you listen, watch us on YouTube, on Twitch also, weekly, and we'll be out here Sunday, doing the thing.
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, that Logan Paul thing happened, and we're gonna be covering more AEW on that show. Watch.
Facts. I'll be watching. I don't even watch I don't even get a chance to watch the AEW during the week. I'll start watching that.
Y'all want to know what happened on Collision on Saturday?
Let me tell you about Collision.
Yeah, let me tell you about Collision.
I don't ever get a chance to watch Collision during the week, but I will. I'll start. All right, y'all. Listen. For my man Sinista1, I'm Lito. This is Turnbuckles and Spilt like a podcast, and we are out. We see y'all next week.
real quick, while we were doing the show, I actually put up all the matches and all the promos from my time on NCW on the Turnbuckles and Spilt like a podcast.
Let's go.
So
Let's
you guys can go and check it out.
Yes.
Check it out, everybody. From the very first, there's 5 episodes. Check it all
Let's
out.
go.
Leave some comments too. I want to see y'all's comments because I know somebody was like, "Is Suge Knight wrestling?"
Oh man!
All right, we
That's
out of here.
hilarious. We out.
All right, peace.
In me vantage point, so I can't abandon joints. Gotta grab the coins, pay me wickedly. Superman and Thor, who am I? Haters mimic me, and they fans cheer them on with their capabilities. Wow, double entendre, crazy lyrically. Had to read a page in Timothy to take you seriously. Cause I ain't scared, I ain't got no fear, baby, get with me. Open doors for the people, you can say it's chivalry. I drop bombs, it'll be a day in infamy. Mainly cause all my ops feeling painful instantly. Stay for sympathy, not me. Creating imagery that everybody you like I made a simile. Facts.